Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing HPSC Assistant Professor Zoology previous year question paper of 2019. The exam was held in 2021. Um, the first question is the number of ATP molecule released during the complete oxidation of one molecule of pyruvate is. From pyruvate, acetyl CoA forms. Acetyl CoA forms and this acetyl CoA then enters the Krebs cycle. So during Krebs cycle there is generation of 3 NADH molecule, 1 FADH2 and 1 GTP. So there are 3 NADH generated in this, and at this step also when this pyruvate is converted to acetyl CoA there is generation of NADH. So in total we have 3 plus 1 4 NADH. So from 1 NADH there are 3 ATP obtained during oxidative phosphorylation. So there will be generation of total ATPs. 1 FADH2 generates 2 ATP during oxidative phosphorylation, so it is 2, and 1 GTP is equivalent to 1 ATP. So in total there is generation of 15 ATPs by the complete oxidation of one pyruvate molecule. Answer will be D, 15. Now next question is the main significance of fertilization is. So as you know, the gametes, they are haploid and when they fuse to form zygote they restore this 2n. So the main purpose of the fertilization is to restore the chromosome number. The best stage for the study of chromosome morphology is, so uh, you must be knowing that during uh, replication, during prophase, actually the chromosome get condensed and they are arranged in the center uh, at the metaphasic plate. So this is during the metaphase phase. So this is the best stage to study the chromosomes. So answer is D, metaphase. Now methionine is an amino acid which contains, so methionine contains a sulfhydryl group, that is the SH group. So beside methionine, there is one more amino acid that contain this SH group. So that is cysteine. This will be cysteine, T-I-E-I-N-E, cysteine. And OH group is present in serine and threonine. Aldehyde group is not present in any of the amino acid. Now next, so answer will be B, sulfhydryl group. Now next question is who proposed the dictum omni cella e cella? So answer will be D, Rudolf Virchow. Leeuwenhoek, he was the first to observe bacteria and the protist, and he is called as the father of microbiology. Now next question is the thermoregulatory center in birds and animal is located in C, hypothalamus. Next question, the bird introduced from one country to another country become a serious pest due to because no when any organism will be introduced to a new area, there will be no competition. So uh, it will be due to the absence of natural competition. So the chance that's why that species will become a serious pest. Now Brunner's gland occurs in the mucosa of, answer is D, intestine. Next question is hypoxia is the condition in which less oxygen becomes available to the tissues. So hypo means low and oxia means low oxygen. So a condition where there is less oxygen available to the tissues. It could be because there are, if the number of RBCs is less in the blood, so obviously the tissue will get less oxygen, and this is when more CO, carbon monoxide, is present. So carbon monoxide actually it has a tendency to bind the hemoglobin, so it will form this carb amino hemoglobin, and what will carb amino hemoglobin, and due to this the oxygen will not be able to bind to the hemoglobin, so resulting in a low percentage of oxygenated hemoglobin. So this also will lead to hypoxia and this lesser oxygen in the atmosphere. So what happens uh, in the alveoli of the lung? So here this is the air of the outside air in the alveoli, and this is the pulmonary vein or the capillaries. So what will happen now? The exchange rate over here, now how much oxygen will be diffused inside these capillaries in this alveoli, it depends upon the partial pressure of oxygen at this in the alveoli. So if there is less oxygen in the atmosphere, so the partial pressure of oxygen will be lower in the alveoli. So there will be the rate of diffusion into the capillaries will be low. So it will also lead to an hypoxic state. Answer will be D, all of the above. Now next question is, crocodiles usually bask in the sun for long hours because it just to increase the body temperature. You must be knowing that crocodiles, like other reptiles, they are cold-blooded animals, so they could not regulate their temperature. That's why they remain in the sun to raise their body temperature. Next question is, human ear is more sensitive to sound waves of 1,000 cycles per second. Next question is, the cytochrome act as, answer is electron carrier. So if you if you remember, the cytochrome C, cytochrome A1, cytochrome A3, all these are part of the electron transport chain where the electrons are carried from one complex to another. So there these cytochrome play role. So what is the main role of cytochromes over there is to transfer electrons. So they act as electron carriers. A cell originates from pre-existing cell. This statement is known as cell lineage theory. Uh, which of the following act as a connecting link between glycolysis and Krebs cycle? If you remember, I have already answered this question. Alcoa. Glycolysis is during glycolysis, pyruvate forms. Pyruvate is the end product of glycolysis, and then this pyruvate is further converted to acetyl CoA, and this acetyl CoA then enters the Krebs cycle. Now, next question is, length of mRNA that carries information for complete polypeptide chain synthesis. So basically that part of the mRNA that is the coding region that codes for a polypeptide. So that is in the mRNA we have this coding region as well as some non-coding and regulatory sequence. So this which codes the part of the mRNA which codes for a polypeptide, this is called as the cistron, or we call it as ORF, which contains ORF. Now, the next question is, how many meiotic divisions are required to produce 100 seeds? So the thing is, we all know, in case of sperm or the male gametocyte, male, during male gametes formation, one spermatogonium give rise to 4 sperms. So basically, and 100, in case of female oocyte, one give rise to one gametocyte give rise to one ovum. So 100 meiotic division will be required to produce 100 eggs or ovum, and then because one spermatogonium can produce 4, so we'll just need 25 meiotic division over here. So total will be 25 for male and 100 for female. So for the formation of 125 seeds, will need total 100 plus 25 will need total 125 meiotic division for the formation of 100 seeds. The proteins which possess more than one transmembrane segments which cross through the lipid bilayer several times, they are called as polytopic protein. So there are different types of protein, type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1 and type 2, when they pass through the membrane only one time, and then there are several protein which pass through the lipid bilayer multiple times, like this. So they are called multipass protein or polytopic protein. Muscle glycogen cannot be converted into glucose as muscle lack the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase. Next question is, the protein that bind the specific solute to be transported through the cell membrane is known as carrier protein. So for a non-polar molecule to be passed through the membrane, a carrier protein is required. Next question is, which of the following pairs of codon is correctly matched with their function or the signal for their particular amino acid? So one could say that it is difficult to remember what are the different codon for different amino acid. Actually, this question has to be done with the exclusion method. Now you see start codon. So we know that AUG is a start codon. So this is wrong. Now next question is stop codon. So AUG is a start codon. So this option is also wrong. Now you see this UAA. UAA is a stop codon. That's why it this is also a wrong. This is also wrong. And now you see that's why this answer will be the right. The answer will be B. Next question is, a coordinated unit which controls the genetic expression is, answer is operon. So you must be knowing that in prokaryotic system, all the genes related to a particular function, they are clustered at one place, and then there are regulatory sequences ahead of them. For example, promoter or the repressor, promoter or the repressor. So all these collectively called as operon. The answer is B, operon. Next question is, what does the following equation denote? So the answer has been to this question is amino acid activation, but I'll say actually there's some problem with this equation. Actually, this is not a correct equation. So what happens, like during translation and during the initiation step of the translation, there is a charging of tRNA and charging of tRNA. So charging of tRNA, in that the first what happens during charging of tRNA, first that amino acid is activated with the help of ATP, and amino acid AMP forms. So the first step is, then amino acid will bind with an ATP and it will form amino acyl AMP. And along with this, there is a release of inorganic phosphate PPI. Now in the next step, this amino acyl AMP will bind to the respective tRNA, and then this tRNA amino acid will form. So this is called as charging of tRNA. So this is the second step during tRNA charging. So you see this is the equation where amino acid will bind ATP, and then amino acyl AMP will form. So this equation is this is not correct actually. It is like this: amino acid, this is PPI, and then amino acyl AMP. Now the close answer to this is amino acid activation. Next question is, which of the antibody molecule is made up of two monomers? So you all know IgA, which is a secretory antibody, it exists as a dimers. IgG, E and D, they exist as monomer, and IgM that act as a pentamer. Now Kupffer cells in the liver cells are involved in, so the answer is phagocytosis. So you must be knowing there are different phagocytic cells Actually, macrophages macrophages are phagocytic cells. Macrophage cells which are present in liver are called as Kupffer cells. And similarly, there are other macrophagic cells. For example, the macrophages present in the alveolar region of the lungs. They are present in lungs. They are called as the alveolar macrophages. Alveolar macrophages in lungs. And next is in bone, they are called as osteoclast. They are called microglial cells in brain. Microglial cells in brain. And in liver, as I told, they are called as the Kupffer cells. So today I'll end over here. If you need, this is part one. If you want other questions to be discussed, please mention that in the comment and or subscribe the channel so that I do proceed with it. Thank you.